It's 1:25, and I think everyone's done reading, or just about done reading and taking their notes. So we're going to move on to the next part of this lesson. We just learned a little bit about chemical and mechanical weathering. We're going to learn about one of the greatest mechanical weathering forces of all, and that's a glacier. Does anyone know exactly what a glacier is? Anyone ever seen a glacier before or heard of a glacier? You've seen a glacier? All right. Glaciers are found in cold places, and they are rivers of ice. Glaciers occur when an area gets enough snowfall in the winter and not enough snow melt in the summer, that there's a annual accumulation of snow, and under its own pressure and weight, it turns into ice, and it will eventually flow and become a glacier. So what we're going to do is we're going to discover glaciers a little bit more in depth. So if you could go onto your Chromebooks and go into Schoology, there is a reading associated with this handout. Let me publish it on... Oh, you just published it? Perfect. So it's already published?
Well, in a second.
Oh, in a
but
second.
I'll do it right now.
It's being published. Anyways, hop onto that. You can work by yourself, or you can work with a partner. If you work with a partner, don't copy off one another. Make sure that you're sharing the work equally. Okay? Any questions, as always, feel free to ask, and you may begin. Oh, another thing that came up in the last class is make sure you read everything. That includes captions, video descriptions, because there are answers that aren't in the normal text. Make sure you check out every single image caption, because there will definitely be some answers in there.
You just hit the little page spread thingy.
Yep, and then it's pretty simple. If you read the article, the answers will come to you. If you go searching for the answers, it's going to be a little bit tougher. I would suggest just reading right through it. You guys aren't allowed to talk to each other. You're allowed to communicate ideas. It doesn't have to just be silent reading.
It says
Some of these answers, I know there's only one blank, but there are some answers that have multiple words. Or could have multiple words. Are you trying to figure out the second one? Yeah, it's just a matter of wording it in the right way. You're definitely on the answers. So.
Very much.
If you read it all the way through, it's real
To the underlying
clear cut.
They want word for word.
Can't give you word for word. You get close.
Right there.
Make sure we're not just taking answers from each other, right? We want to get them on our own too. So, see if you can also find where Tarns might be. Tarns is actually one of the ones that's tricky. It's in photo text. Yeah. It's in the photo with 4 different pictures. It's in that caption box.
And the creek.
You guys are making great progress. Anyone know how to pronounce the French word?
Nope. We should know.
Ariette.
Ariette.
That was so simple.
It was very simple. It
Ariette.
looks a lot more difficult.
It's 'cause
than
you
that.
said
That's because we
Dingy
never
over
went
top
over
of
the
the E.
Jones. We never went over the French yet. We only did the accent words. We never went over the little triangle.
Yeah.
Let's just move water towards your nags.
It is actually hot. You're hot.
It's pretty hot.
Especially if you go, well, you notice it more if you go from the outside of the hallway into here. It's definitely.
The head is supposed to have a ceiling where the heat travels. Yes. Yeah.
A large building is on the picture caption.
And definitely don't forget to take a look at the videos. You'll definitely need it for one of the illustrations. But for the illustrations, you can also use outside resources as long as they're reputable. Gotta read everything. Give me options. If you read it word for word, the answers pop out like magic.
And I have a son. Get out of here.
You all done? Stuck in it?
You're jostling Megan.
Glacial striations. Do you know what glacial striation is? Did you read about it yet? Alright, so you perfectly just described it. So if you could just say glacial striations are caused by glacier presses a rock. It doesn't have to be all that. The way you explained it to me was beautiful. Just less
I don't know, but I think it's just weird.
no, it doesn't have to be a
put
specific
terminal
term. No, I think
key
for
right
my
here.
own, my key, I have glacial striations are caused when the glacier rubs rock on rock.
You can't always look for one keyword.
Is this so you don't lose your binder? Is that a picture of yourself? What?
For real. Who else got this book? I would love to see. My friend, yeah. I was gonna put it in. I was gonna put y'all in here for it next semester. And I didn't.
No, she's listening to the video.
Sinking plans are
I have a more specific answer than that. It's right in the text, I promise you. It might even be in bold. You might have been. You just might have been.
This one is here. Free.
So you guys are done with the first part? Going on to the second? The second part, it might be helpful if you type in Google Images, a glacier system. That goes for everyone else. For the second part, the illustrations, it might be best to leave CK12, head to Google Images and search glacier system. Or the water cycle, as glaciers are part of the water cycle as well.
It did it on its own.
Or maybe glacier diagram might help. Type that
These
in.
are pretty pictures.
Glaciers, very good. That's a pretty good one. Glacier one. Maybe or a glacial hanging valley. Glacier hanging valley. Let's see what comes up. There's an illustration. So, the best way that I could possibly think of a hanging valley is, here, put your hands like this in a U shape. Alright, so there's big mountains right here, right? You're at the little tiny mountain glacier. Here I am, the big, huge mountain glacier. I have this giant U shape, and I cut the end of your U off. There's a big U-shaped valley here because this was a glacier, right? Glacier melts. This valley's down here, all the way down here. Your valley's still up top. It's another U-shaped valley, and it's hanging over the main valley, if that makes any sense. So, see in this illustration, the hanging valley is the one that is cut off by the main valley. Usually hanging valleys, 9 times out of 10, will end in waterfalls because they have that steep U-shaped side of the glacier valley that they end at, and then as you see, water just rolls right off.
So will the people, all they do is they put
Like
in the
this?
thing for the Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Like this? Like that would be the hanging valley and that's the main valley?
Yes, so that's the main U-shaped valley, and then the hanging valleys are the ones that the main one cut off at some point. Or another way you can put it is the hanging valleys terminated or ended in the larger valley, the larger glacier of the system. Your illustrations don't need to be, anything special.
Why don't
As
we
long
fix
as it makes
YouTube
sense.
know the thing
someone can
for when
understand.
this
That's all I'm
happened?
looking for.
That's what they did last
Because
week.
initially,
Labels
when
are
we got
always
to Chrome,
great when it comes
they
to
were already
illustrating
set up.
science.
Yeah.
So there was no like password for anybody to know.
The only people that had to know were like
The people that were
the
doing
tech wizards.
So you gotta look up the glacier.
it. She left.
Wait, are there any stairs or anything?
Yeah, that's probably.
No problem. Yep.
You know what it's hard.
Okay. Trey.
Where are you going?
To get raises?
And Trey, I would spend some time working on that packet tonight. I'm going to have both readings posted. You'll also probably get a half hour or so in class tomorrow. Okay? Yeah.
Won't we finish up this paper too?
Yes.
The whole war glacier that's calving. Yo, I actually got to see one of those things. Here, calve. They just like fall off with sheets.
high above this. It's high above the bottom.
Hold on to it for now, yes.
There. I'm confused.
On what? Drawing's great. Yeah. It's got some labels on it. What you so confused about?
I was looking at her diagram.
Ah, I'm confused now too.
Oh, my diagram is
That's actually really good.
not that bad.
Mine was terrible.
That's the main valley.
The range of artistry.
This should work
Quite incredible.
because it won't have Wi-Fi to try to connect it. Because it just connects. It's just that this one. Yeah.
Polar glacier.
All I know is like my Wi-Fi was completely out. But that one kept this, right?
Definition should be something.
Because it should come straight here and be not even.
Or unless it was plugged in and that's when it happened.
I don't see how that would.
I don't know either, but I mean something. And no one
Does that mean falling? Does calling mean falling?
Yeah, it's like when it like shaves off. If you look at
Like
it,
in Ice Age when it dropped into the water?
Oh, wow.
that's exactly what it is.
The drawing one. Big comes of-
Wait, just draw part of it.
These diagrams are like really detailed.
I just drew.
In 8 minutes at 1:55, I'm going to pause you guys and I'm going to give directions for the next assignment today. It's a virtual glacier lab, so it should be pretty fun. So what are you looking for? This is the polar one?
Alex, my jazz audition
This one?
should
Go
send.
on to YouTube and look up glacier cabin.
Yeah, I know, but it's because
So I just made mine fall.
like. Hold on.
Glacier or calving?
I'm I'm like 90% sure that it's like
Glacier calving.
How does one reset them both?
So people pay big bucks to get into like the last.
Is there like a button that says?
Take a look at.
Section 3.
Section 3.
There's only section 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. I will remedy that as soon as I can.
Alright.
Thank you for
Ice
letting
Age
me know.
kind of different, everything fell.
Yeah, Matt. See Ice Age.
No one in my house is smart enough to be able to reset my clock.
I mean, like, come to think, but there's multiple ways to do it. But
Is there like a thing where you press keys in?
no, because if there was, I'd be able to
Don't you have to connect it to your phone or something?
Yes.
You have to connect it to your phone or something.
The administrators can manually do something not manually.
You were? You have to like directly do it to him. It won't work. He can't see it if you do it like that. Yeah, you have to like go at the top, the little like envelope, to press it, and then submit it to there. Or you have to like find his name. It's like you're emailing a teacher.
Can't the administrators remotely reset these computers?
Yeah, that's what the little box in the corner says. It says to contact one, but does that mean email?
What did he know for secret?
Well,
Wait,
you
what?
can call them. Like, if you know any administrators, like, or if you see one in the hallway, they're everywhere.
Because it sounds cool.
Yes?
Like which ones like would actually like get the prize or like? If she's the one or because they monitor it, so they should be able to just be like, oh, you're. Because they use this. There's like a little code on the back.
So I've had a couple people ask me questions about the polar glacier calving. I'll go onto YouTube and search glacier calving. I'm sure you will understand the process in a much better way. Seeing a video of it helps tremendously.
It's basically just when like a piece of the glacier just falls off.
Pretty much.
Now that I have that.
But there's some
Ice Age
cool
reference.
processes behind it.
Ice Age references. Yeah, that's how I
Just
understand
imagine
it.
it from Ice Age when the giant piece of ice fell into the water.
Wait, was Squirrel talking about that?
Squirrel was on top of it, like split the whole earth open
Yeah.
and fell in.
Yeah, but that doesn't actually happen. This actually happened.
It's like the earth isn't a solid metal ball that when you spin creates cracks in the earth.
You need this.
Just the
I just need to be able to have that available. You want us to start with the definitions?
oh yeah, this the whole worksheet. When I gave it to you, you had free range with it.
He's not even gonna know how to turn it on.
And then there's also the instructions. Perfect.
Is the back camera wait, do you have the back camera goes up and down?
But still, they were saying though, I looked it up. It's just a front.
Yeah, but there's no home button. He said they can detect your faces. Yes, it is. Does yours not have a home button?
No, but I'm being so serious. Like, I would not pay no whole.
I would not either.
For no whole, no home. No, my nana gets $200 off. So she only pays $100. I shouldn't even say $100. That's still a lot of money.
You're probably
That's still the iPhone. I mean,
You're probably
plus my nana wants to
I'm not asking
money.
to see it.
Broke by the time. Yeah, she didn't with the. But
She
she
got
got
the
the
excitement.
Can you just publish a Schoology too? Just a link.
For the
Thank you.
Can you freeze the screen?
Sure.
Real quick.
And that free
Right.
No, I actually think she said she wants the 8. I'm like, how much money is that? No, I feel like you should.
Alright, if I could get everyone's attention up here and I could just have you not close your laptops all the way, maybe just turn them away, just so you're not looking at them, you're not distracted, we can all listen. So the next activity we're going to do, it's a virtual glacier lab. There is a link on Schoology, it's a link to the Glencoe website, and it has a glacier lab on it, so we're going to go to that site now. It's this one. And so when you open it up, this is what it's going to look like. There are 6 sites, and the sites are talking about different landforms made by the glaciers. So, did we already do this one? Maybe we did. Alright, we'll start fresh. So, in this picture, there are a couple objects being circled. I don't know if anyone can see. But based off this picture, do we think this glacier feature is from a continental glacier or by a valley glacier? Well, where are continental glaciers? They're only found in 2 places. The North Pole and the South Pole. Exactly. So I think this is going to be a mountain valley glacier, which makes a whole lot more sense. So you can switch between these two depending on what sort of landform they give you. And here, they give you the options of which you can choose. I want you to go through them, take a guess. I'm going to say this one's an erratic. You hit the check button. If it's incorrect, nothing will happen. But if, I actually know this one's an Ariete, and if you hit check, you'll get a description. And what I want you to do is for each one of your sites, we're going to go back to the directions, I want you to determine the landform. I determined it was an Ariete. Check to see if your answer is correct. It was. Once you've gotten the correct answer, create a definition in your own words of what that landform is, just on the back of this paper. And then when you're done with that, you can hand it in. Just repeat the steps for sites 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way to 6. This lab generates random landforms for everyone, so you will not have the same landform as your next door neighbor, so don't be alarmed when it's all different, okay? Any questions, just ask me, and you guys are good to go. Again, the link is on Schoology.
Yep.
Yeah. So there should be a total of 6 definitions on the back of your worksheet, as well as the other printed definitions on the front.
Almost took it out.
I understand what you mean.
So you're on the lab now? How's it going?
Okay. Good job. I mean, what do they want me to do?
I would hit the clue button.
A clue. Okay, a clue.
Over on the right side of the picture. Where it says clue.
Oh, right there. Looks like a whale.
Okay, so what does that say?
These boulders have been transported by glaciers. Isn't that glacier or something? Oh, I know what it is.
Well, what are you thinking it is?
Hanging Valley.
These
Or-
boulders have been transported to
No.
their present location by
thinking of-
glaciers.
Glacier movement. It's like
So what do glaciers move?
rocks.
Rocks and pretty much whatever gets in their way, right? So the big guys are called erratics.
Erratic.
The small stuff they move, do you know what that is?
I'm guessing something that's the total opposite of erratics.
Maybe try clicking around on the landforms.
That's small. Is it till? What is it?
Does it match up?
Does it match up?
I don't know, you tell me.
What do you mean does it match up?
Well, what is it? What is the definition for till?
A mixture of sediment ranging into size or being from clay to boulder.
Mm-hmm. And what's the clue say?
It's not. It doesn't match up.
Does it?
No, because these boulders have been transported to their present location by glaciers.
It's the same thing. Just because the glacier melted, it had to have gotten it there somehow, right?
So it's till.
Is it not till?
It's not letting me check it.
Maybe it's a radix then.
That's what I had it on.
That's Ariettes. That's a knife-like ridge. Erratics are spelled E-R-R-A. T-I-C-S. So they were erratics.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. How's it going over here? Virtual lab or the worksheet still?
The worksheet. I'm trying to get this to load. Like, what is calving? Oh, do I have to hit? Okay.
Calving?
Why do I always do?
There's a video of it right on the CK12 site. It should be that one. Chasing ice captures largest.
Calving.
Yep. So if you take a little look at that, it should definitely help answer your questions. If not, hit the internet, hit YouTube. There's some great videos that would help understand if you just type in glacier calving.
Okay.
That's the type of thing people go on vacation for, to see glaciers calving. Yep.
Okay. Like,
What's up?
are we supposed to Google what this is?
Kettles?
Yeah, like Google it and then put it in our own words.
Was it in the virtual lab?
Huh?
Okay, so you determined that the last one was a kettle, I'm guessing, right? Or you determined that this one's a kettle.
This one.
What's the clue for this one?
Sound on. There's a clue. Hold on. What the sound? What if they maternal marine? Lateral.
Okay, so what does this glacier look like? Does it look like it's a continental one or a valley one?
Continental.
Why would you say it's a continental glacier? Think about it. Where are continental glaciers?
Oh wait, hold up. No, it's the other one.
It's a mountain valley glacier, right?
Yeah.
It's in the mountains. So why don't you change the landform map? All right. And where on that map? Where on this map does it look like? Could be the same area on that one.
Right here. Right here.
Yeah. What is that
A
called?
little tricky on that one.
I don't know.
It's called a kirk. There's a lot of French words for glacier parts and mountains because the Alps are in part of France, and a lot of French scientists developed terms like these. So you got kirk? Nice. So I would click on kirk right there,
Right here.
and then create your own definition out of that, okay?
Wait. So you click right there. So you guys would think you call me dumb. Don't say you guys. I never said you was dumb.
Now that you know the secret, why don't you be nice about it and let everyone know?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a nice
Just so everyone knows, if you click on the blue words on the top landform, it will describe to you exactly what it is, and that's where you should be getting your definitions from.
Are you being sarcastic? Is she being sarcastic? No.
So if you click on the blue parts,
Oh, I'm getting my definition.
oh, perfect. But just so you know, what is this one? A U-shaped valley? First off, hang on. If you hit that, it'll give you like a really solid definition instead of just a clue.
Choose one that look hard. I don't know why it's funny because we be way off. Like Mauna Kea. What did he say?
Oh, I don't know. It was late. What did you say?
Mauna Kea. Oh, what is it?
Portugal. That we said like Pinocchio or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like way off.
I don't remember.
Yo, I'm clicking these. Like, is it gonna
Oh
change?
yeah, it was Moana Kea.
Mauna Kea, yep.
We go to site 2 now.
She's dying.
Laura, I was over
Yeah.
here. I kept clicking. I wasn't even checking it. I was like, click, click, click.
Oh. So we should only have 6 on here when we're done?
This feature was made by Small Valley Virtual Princess Box. And that makes the surface
Oh my God, you're fun. It's a kettle.
I keep trying to like pull it on the thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to pull it. Oh, what is this?
You clicking check?
Oh.
Can I just get everyone's attention again? For those of you who finished, I just passed around a final little wrap up on glaciers. That is also due at the end of the class. When you're done with any of these activities, if you could just place them in the bin. And then I believe Ms. Hall has your packet if you still need to work on that from Friday.
Yeah, guys, we'll just go ahead and kind of give you everything you need here real quickly. I've already had a couple questions, and here's sort of the summation. The book, if you haven't already submitted it, I would like that preferably by this evening. If you are confident that you signed up for the class the way I asked you to sign up for the class, I should already have it. However, if you are unsure, just go to share and send me a copy of the link. There's nothing on Schoology to turn it in with. So do that. Secondly, the packet itself is technically going to be due at the end of the school day tomorrow. You will have some class time to work on it, but probably only about 30 or 40 minutes. We do have some other stuff to do tomorrow. So use your time wisely. Get those things done. Both of the readings will be posted online. Work. And we'll talk more tomorrow. I haven't posted the landform one yet. I'll do that in a second. So you guys will have the last 15 minutes to work on what you need to work on. Yes?
What was the website for the book?
Yeah, storyjumper.com.
Which one is yours?
Give me a second. Let me post the other thing real quick. Okay?
So you're going
You shouldn't have to. You should just be able to share it.
Then, so you're going to have
And there should be a link.
sites. Each site has
I was
a term,
a
and all you have to do is just take that term and define it in your own words. So what was this one? This was till. So just define till in your own words. You could pop up a pretty good definition here, but make sure it's in your own words so that you'll understand it best.
Or something's up with what you just said. That's not a link. Let me double check. Okay, if you're not sure, just keep working on the glacier stuff right now, guys. Let me double check how to share the link, and then I'll explain it to you. So, just keep doing what you gotta do.
The final assessment I just handed out to you, I had people and students in the last class ask me if they could choose more than one person to agree with. and I told them they can, they just have to give me an explanation. So if you believe it's one person, that's fine. If you believe it's two, great, all three, as long as you can explain it to me.
Or I see what it is. You copy and pasted the embed code. I don't want it embedded. I just wanted the link. So go back to the story junker.
A lot of them are abstract.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want this time. You got it.
Is this the actual country?
So where do you find areas? Do you find them in the continental landmass or in the mountain valley systems?
So yeah, you just want to copy and paste that.
I think so.
Or no, sorry. Just copy and paste it.
Hey, there you go. So why don't you give it a click?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you create your own definition?
For some reason, and this is not just you, it's just the Mrs. Leonard's thing, she screwed up
If you
something
click on these,
and didn't post her grades in time. Because I know a bunch of my upper class students on Friday, we went on the field trip, were saying the same thing, that they had no grades posted for her class. So that's something, my guess is, I haven't been back in the text. Depends on if you're looking at my email, which is Jenna Hall, in this check.
No, not 11, but everything else.
So you guys all have stuff to keep you busy for the next 15 minutes? Be smart. Yes, so. Probably. Might be Flash or something that wasn't working, so let's just. We have some free time in class tomorrow. Then again, same difference, just sometime tomorrow, let's try to get that wrapped up, since we know that that's more work to do.
Oh my god, it's here.
no, there's no reading for that, just answer the question. All you gotta do is just read it. Tobacco is one that digs down into the earth. Yep. Tobacco has a big scoop on the back that digs down. A bulldozer is more like a tank, I would say. They have different purposes.
Okay.
Yep.
These are the same people.
The bulldozers, the backhoe.
He gave us the
They have
normal
a thing
papers.
that's
They got
super
it.
in the back. Yes.
We have the same papers. We didn't get those.
Oh, you didn't get? Okay, I'll get a copy for you. Sorry about that.
Each of the slides.
Because that homework got packaged. How do you finish it?
I finished it over the weekend because I didn't see the notification until Sunday.
All handwriting in general, so.
I looked up all the answers. But I couldn't find some of the answers I see, so I'm gonna have to check about like 2 answers, but that's just about it.
Yeah, you might want to rely on that.
It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. So. With the last 5.
Well, the worksheet, technically later, but
The stuff that I gave today should be due today. Yeah. About what?
I'm
So what you trying to figure out?
Is it a version of?
It's in the beginning of class. Either you guys.
What did you guys say?
Did you review?
Oh, I said
Decided, or I will
Is this
review.
a
Optional.
content or
Or between today and tomorrow. Choose your own adventure.
That's like.
what?
What is the last one?
Just be happy you're not my third parent.
Kind of stronger ecosystem than the rest of them. So this feature is
I would not
small vowel.
I don't even see you mad. Like I couldn't.
A much larger one.
We just need to
I much prefer having fun
Yeah, well, that's what
and
it is.
enjoying what I'm doing.
I would.
I can't wait to eat that mac and cheese, man.
I will be petty and spiteful if I need to, but that's not really the way I am.
So what are you thinking, like, what? I think we can eliminate lateral marine, right? So this feature is small vowels. What are next is vowel?
Why you laughing?
I just wanted all of it. And depending, my thought is that if I do it, either you guys are getting this or you're getting an extra credit option. And so what I will probably do is tomorrow.
Most of you guys have the water bottle.
Done that, if they wanted the extra credit. If I don't make them in time, we'll be there.
It's fine. One second.
What is the word that says to defeat?
What, this word?
Can we turn it into the
Nice. Alright, so right, Hanging Valley.
This is a
And then just a little 4 or 5 word definition of your own.
Oh, I didn't know that was good.
If you have not started the final assessment, I'm going to ask you that you take a break on what you've currently been working on, the worksheet and the virtual lab. And if you could finish this, that would be great. And if you don't get back to finishing the virtual lab or the worksheet, that's fine.